Alright, so I received some information on the internet, one of my posts, that has inspired this video actually. So, what the person had said is that there was something missing in the martial arts that I practice. And he said that I should watch boxing because in boxing they have this constant bobbing and weaving, and how the traditional martial arts don't really have that. However, I disagree with that opinion. So, in this video, I'm going to be going over several different ways in several different styles that I practice do this. So I have 4 examples. There are more in each style, and there are more among the different styles that I teach. But I'm just going to limit it to these 4 so this video is not hours long. Okay, so the first example is from long fist. So the way that we refer to bobbing and weaving in our terminology is called height changes. So basically, something like if I were to say that my head is the target, this needs to change the height that it's at. So in our long fist, there's a long fist punch called, well, long fist punch, where we have this lean to it. So this is essentially bobbing and weaving, because it's the idea that as my opponent comes in punch, I dodge out of the way, I bring my head out of the way of the punch, and I punch at the same time. So it's this, if my head is here, here's where they're going to be punching towards. I punch, but I move my head offline. So this is the first example. So he hits, I dodge, and I punch all at the same time. So it's getting my head out of the way. Next, I'd like to talk about it in monkey fist. So monkey fist, the specific terminology for it in monkey fist is shrinking and growing, because those are the primary jins of monkey boxing. So the idea that when I'm with my opponent is he goes in punch. My shrink happens, and that's my bobbing and weaving. The grow is the attack that comes afterwards. So see, my grow in this case, I could slam him with my shoulder, I could punch him with my fist, or punch him with my foot, I guess. Or, in other martial arts, in Seeing Jiu-Jitsu, they go for the double leg takedown. That's also in monkey boxing. It's more like interesting to see how all the styles are actually more of the same, just different expressions of it, huh? So anyway, so again, we have shrinking, which is my bobbing, and then weave into my position where I can then grow. Now, Tai Chi Chuan. So Tai Chi Chuan, we can take the movement snake creeps down into golden cock stands erect. So this typically is looked at as a martial throw. So as he throws his punch, I go underneath, essentially try to perform the fireman's carry, and then knock him on his head. That's the traditional application of it. However, as any one of my teachers has told me, what I would teach my students, every movement has 10,000 possible applications. You just have to change your perspective. So in this, I'll change my perspective from a wrestler into a striker in this case. So in this case, as he goes to strike at me, that was my snake creeps down. So if we go slow, I engage, this is my bobbing and weaving. And then for the golden cockroach stands erect, that's my follow-up. So I strike my knee, or I strike with the fingertips as it's typically done it before. So this is, again, bobbing and weaving. As he punches, I always keep my head going. Now, last example, in Drunken Boxing. So specific, the way that we look at it in Drunken Boxing is that the body has 3 spheres. So these 3 spheres are called our dantians. So we have our lower dantian, our middle dantian, and then our upper dantian. So typically, most styles will keep them above each other, if not in a slight lean fashion. And on occasion, they'll lean off to the sides like this, so they'll create this angle here. Drunken Boxing basically takes that idea to the extreme, where these 3 spheres are constantly rotating all around in a 3D space. So as he goes to attack me, in this case, it caused my sphere to rotate this way. My upper dantian went that way, while my lower dantian went forward, causing an uppercut. Or he can hit low, and it causes my lower sphere to retreat, while my upper sphere goes forward, resulting in this punch. Or he could hit me again, and I could use this to come to the side, where now I'm angled like this. So that's where all this comes into play. It's basically trying to make the targets that they would typically be going for always moving within a 3D sphere. So he may be aiming for my head, but my head is going to be way over here or something. Or he may be aiming for my nuts, and my nuts will retreat as I try other things. So, to conclude, basically, bobbing and weaving and all these things, they're essentially the same thing, just called different names. So from this video, I hope that everyone can see that all these martial arts, they're not so different. So arguments, not really helpful. It's more important to see the similarities, because then you'll actually learn from things that you don't know, right? So no matter who we are with, we can always learn something from them, because there's more similarities than differences. All right, so that's height changes, bobbing and weaving, essentially, for Chinese martial arts. All right, thank you very much.